together and I would get completely ignored after I generously invited you out on a date.
As am I, Holden. I'm sure that would have surely been an embarrassing experience and quite selfish a thing for me and Sally to do. However, in this situation, we were able to have a conversation together where nobody ends up ignored.
Here we learn that because Sally was able to realize that if she spent her time rudely ignoring Holden and talking to George instead, she would just be acting unfair and egocentric. It was a good choice of hers to try and pay attention to two people she considers her friend. However, there is one more instance where Holden finds himself mistreated by an adult that we need to visit. Here we can clearly see Holden and his friend Carl Luce sharing a drink together after a long time of not seeing each other. Carl and Holden know each other from school, and Holden would always ask Carl about the women and men around them because of his immense knowledge on the subject. However, time has passed, and Carl and Holden have not seen each other in quite some time.
So, Carl, how's the woman business?
Oh, Holden, so young, so immature. I've actually found myself a woman I've grown quite fond of. She's a Chinese woman in her late 30s who sculpts in villages and such.
Wow, you like him old, huh? More experience and sculptors in Chinese too? Is that your preference or something?
Is this supposed to be some sort of joke, or are you genuinely interested?
No, please. I just come here to talk with you. So, how's school? What are you majoring in, pervert?
Caulfield, why have you not the faintest sense of maturity since the last time I saw you? Please, grow up and move on. I really think you should see a psychoanalyst on this type of thing.
A what now?
A psychoanalyst, Holden. They recognize the patterns of your brain and help fix any problem you may have because of them. I would really recommend something like that to a person like you, especially considering how you refuse to move on from things and all. Well, I hate to go, but I have to. Goodbye, Holden.
Here we can tell that Holden hasn't seen Carl in a while and simply tries to talk to him about the one thing he knows that he and Carl can talk about. Well, Carl ignores this fact and criticizes Holden for being immature when Holden is just trying to be polite and find a subject of interest to discuss. Carl is so rude as to recommend Holden to see a psychoanalyst because he believes there might be something wrong with him. What should have happened is Carl should have asked Holden to politely change the subject of the conversation to something they are both comfortable with before going ahead and continuing any conversation they would have.
No, please. I just come here to talk with you. So, how's school? What are you majoring in, pervert?
Look, Holden, I know we haven't talked to each other for some time now, but can you please try to refrain from the immature questions so we can have a civil conversation?
Oh, sure. Sorry about that, Carl. So, is there anything that you would like to discuss with me?
A myriad of things, in actuality. I'm sure these topics will interest you as much as they do me.
Carl has learned to look at situations from others' perspectives, but while he may have grown up from talking of sex frequently, Holden only knew him for that and didn't know that he matured. So calmly approaching the conversation with a topic that they would both be comfortable talking about would be the ideal way to hold a conversation with Holden. It not only helps Holden with his problem of being alone in the city, but it allows for Carl to discuss topics of interest with somebody else.
Created using Powtoon.